This is a quick tip on how to use the Akai Force with external effects. Let's start on the left side of the screen. From the Akai Force, use ports 3 and 4 out and into your first effects pedal. From the effects pedal, I am using its headphone stereo port out into a mixer, the mixer's input port number 3. The return from the mixer, which is a blue box, I'm using out port number 2. And specifically, if you're using the blue box, make sure you use out port number 2. And from there, I'm going to the Force's inputs, which are labeled 1 and 2. So I have my gain settings set in a logical way so that they're not overloaded. So from the quad cortex, using the stereo or using the send and receive loop, I'm using the send into a poly Bebo, which is ports 1 and 2. And again, I'm running things in stereo. It's just personal preference. You don't have to run things in stereo. All of this can be mono if you desire. From the poly Bebo, using stereo pair, I'm running into port 1 and 2 on the H90, and then out of ports 1 and 2 from the H90 back to the return port on the quad cortex. So that completes the effects loop for the quad cortex. Now let's talk about the desktop blue box. Port number 3 specifically, which is actually the return port to that's coming in from the Force, make sure to set the out settings on that channel to medium, and then watch the gain settings so that you're not creating a crazy loop between the two. I am also using an additional Eurorack blue box to run from my Eurorack into the Force. Same methodology, except I'm using the headphone jack out on the Eurorack blue box back into the desktop blue box. And this completes the complete loop of all of the gear that's in my setup, but your setup could be a lot more simplified. If you only have one effects pedal, you can still run out from the Force using ports 3 or 4, or both if you're running stereo, into an effects pedal, and then from the effects pedal back into the Force's inputs, and that completes the loop. Then within the Force settings, make sure to go to the master channel, set one of your returns to ports 3 and 4, watch the gain settings on it, make sure that you have enough volume for that channel. Then go to create a recording template, of course. Add a audio track and have it monitor ports 1 and 2, and set it to in for audio. That will allow you to be able to hear the effects unit from your pedals. Create an additional track that you want to utilize it as a send effect on, and go to the send channel on the Akai Force and adjust to taste, and you should be able to utilize your effects pedal.